Welcome back. Now we continue my look at drone technology with drone maker AeroVironment unveiling its new Locust X3 laser weapon system, set to deliver speed-of-light strikes against unmanned aerial threats. This new laser system uses advanced AI-enabled detection with a 25 to 30 kilowatt laser to deliver precise strikes against drones and other threats at under $5 a shot. The current defense weaponry used in the Iran conflict costing upwards of $10 million per missile launched. But the president is calling for drone makers to mass produce lower cost drones. And joining me right now is the CEO of AeroVironment, Wahid Nawabi. Wahid, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Welcome back.
Great to be with you, Maria.
And as you know, we've been doing this deep dive on drone technology now for the last month or so. And I want to get your take on what has taken place here. We saw swarms of cheap killer drones proving capable of overwhelming traditional air defense systems. And the last time we spoke, we talked about how America is moving fast to shoot down those cheap drones and design new defense technologies. And in particular, how this all started in Ukraine, and how Ukraine was using these lower cost drones, and now we are looking at this take place in the Strait of Hormuz. Tell us about it.
That is correct, Maria. AIV, as a company, basically has developed and produced thousands and thousands of hunter and killer drones during the Ukraine war for our military. And we helped Ukraine defend against the Russian invasion very successfully over the last 4 years. We're one of the very few companies in the world that produces these things in volume. When I say volume, we're not talking about dozens or hundreds of them. We're talking about tens of thousands of them a year. We've been doing that for 20-plus years for our military and for our allies around the world. The war in Ukraine was an inflection point on the efficacy of drones and hunter and killer drones in a battlefield. That changed the paradigm globally for all militaries, all wars from now on. This conflict in Iran is an example of an inflection point for counter-drone capabilities, in particular laser weapon systems, direct energy, such as our Locust system, Locust X3, which we just announced last week to the market. What this allows us to do and our allies to be able to defend effectively and economically against thousands, if not tens of thousands of drones that can be fired at us or be coming at us, even at swarms. This technology is the holy grail when it comes to allowing U.S. military and our allies to defend against these types of threats, not only in the conflict in Iran and the Persian Gulf, but also in other parts of the world in the future potential conflicts, such as Indo-PACOM, Indo-Pacific, Taiwan, and Pacific, the South China Sea, and in the Atlantic region and Pacific, everywhere in the world. This is going to be the standard in the future. Our companies have developed expertise in this area for the last 20-plus years, and we're so proud that we're now able to produce these in volumes for our military.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing, Wahid. That's why I keep talking about this. And by the way, you've also got a huge opportunity with the Golden Dome that President Trump is building as well. So that's another thing. But I want to get you to explain a little more to our audience about hunter and killer drones, because I know that the hunter drones are more about surveillance. They're sharing information with the killer drones that may have a warhead on them, may have lasers, but they're really going to kill the enemy as opposed to hunting for surveillance. Explain that.
That is correct, Maria. So we make both of these types of drones. We design them and manufacture them here in the United States. We've been doing it for decades. A hunter drone is what's referred to as a surveillance drone that basically scans the area. We make several of them. We have the largest portfolio of what's referred to as surveillance or hunter drones, and such as Puma, Jump 20, and our P550, which is the brand new one that we just announced recently. These drones are able to fly for hours, very, very difficult to detect, and find targets, enemy targets in a particular area, conflict zone. Then the information from those targets and from those hunter drones is passed to a killer drone, such as our Switchblade and other one-way attack drones, that allows the operator then to prosecute or defeat the target and destroy it. That combination is incredibly powerful, and especially if you can do this at low cost and at very high scale and volume. It is a new paradigm. This type of conflict and warfare has never been seen before since the Ukraine conflict. That was the first time in the history of warfare that these types of drones and capabilities have emerged and shown what it can do with very little amount of money, very little sort of infrastructure. You can create lots and lots of havoc for your enemy. And so the concept now is to be able to defend against those, because Iran has developed a lot of really capable drones, such as the Shahids, which can actually hurt us and our allies. And so we've developed technologies to enable us to do that, and that's the laser weapon systems called Locust that we've been shipping and making for our military for a couple of years now.
Did Iran develop them, or is China helping them with those Shahed drones?
First of all, I commend our president for taking this bold, smart action to go after this extremist regime. You know, number one. Number two, of course, these countries are helping each other. China, Russia, they're all in this sort of effort together to undermine U.S., undermine all of us, and we need to stand for that. We need to defend the people of Iran, because they've been under this oppressed regime for 47 years. 47 years, Maria. And it's time. I commend our president for taking the bold action to take action here and make a difference. And we are here to support our country and our allies.
Well, thank you for that. You're a patriot. We spoke with Anduril Industries co-founder Trey Stevens on the program last week. Here's what he said. Watch this.
There are a bunch of different layers that we're talking about when we engage in this autonomous air conflict. You have drones that are going out and looking for other things, like our Ghost platform. You have loitering munitions that fly around looking for things, and then when they find those things, they can go and take kinetic action against them. And then you have platforms like our Barracuda 500 that are actually they're missiles that are intended to go after targets directly. So I think you need to have every layer of this system figured out in a way we're not relying on incredibly expensive Cold War era technology, but we're leveraging the advances in manufacturing techniques, the advances in autonomy in the manufacturing system to produce at high scale at very low cost.
So, Wahid, exactly what you were saying earlier, what do you want to say to investors this morning, Wahid, who have been plowing money into defense tech since President Trump returned to office for his second term? Of course, your stock came under some selling pressure after the SCAR Badger program was canceled by Space Force, by convenience. Where does the growth come from at this point at AeroVironment, Wahid?
So, Maria, we're incredibly well positioned for the highest priorities of our national security and our Department of War and this administration. We have built our company, purpose-built it, with a broad portfolio of the systems that I just described, unmanned systems for all domains and all missions. We are quite well positioned between the very large legacy primes as well as the small startups who do not really have any precedence or track record of success in producing these things and actually making them effective in the wars that are out there. So AV is positioned incredibly well. I've been with the AV for 16 years, and the prospects of growth and opportunity for us has never been any better than today. We are producing these things by the thousands today, by tens of thousands. We have delivered them. They're effective in conflicts today. We have a layered approach solution for defeating these types of drones and hunter-killer drones. Our directed energy system is the best in the world. Our jammers, the Titan series, is the best in the world today, operating in these conflicts today, defending our bases, defending our military. And we need a lot more of these. And we're ready to scale production. We've been investing in plants all over the country, and we're really, really pleased with where we are today and where we're going.
And Wahid, that's why the U.S. Army awarded the company $117 million in the Group 2 aircraft. I know that Army contract. Look, you are a patriot and a government contractor. We're watching your work closely, Wahid, and we so appreciate you joining us as the president wants you to continue ramping up this drone technology. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Maria.
All right, Wahid Nawabi joining us from AeroVironment. Don't miss my new special, The Enemy's Arsenal, on the drone race, defense technology, and so much more. It'll come out on Fox Nation on April 9th. I am looking at the enemy's arsenal, our military and weaponry versus China's. You're watching Mornings with Maria, live on Fox Business. Stay with us.